What's up, Rob? I got my volume up. Need to turn that down. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. How about yourself? How about yourself? Got some fat, aqueous fat solution, otherwise known as fat liquor, that I'm going to apply to this buckskin hide and then scrape it again. Somewhat better. That's good. That's good, man. I'm glad to know that you're getting better. Coming back around from the pneumonia that your wife brought you. Sorry to hear that, man. Nobody wants to get the pneumonia, you know? I want this to kind of sink in a little bit, so I don't want to scrape just yet. I actually want to add some stuff first. But I think we're getting ready to convert to a members-only chat today. Also, you're a mod, so you'd be allowed in there, Rob. You'd be in there. It's members and mods is what it is. But Heather's feeding animals, so probably when she's done with that. That is helping that water sink in a little bit. I want it to get, don't be so hydrophobic it can't take any stuff in there. Oh, we're already in members only mode. Good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's the way I like to be. And I'm going to put the camera down slightly. I'm not going to exactly do a close-up type deal, but we're gonna do close. We're gonna go in a bit so that y'all can see me put on this fat liquor. It's not science, you know, it's not complicated, but you do want as even distribution as you can possibly get. Then I'm just going to scrape it, and I'm going to try to get to these edges too and really get those edges. Focus on the edges, actually, because the middle is easy. Those edges that are the hard part. Want to give an opportunity for members that, you know, members and mods that have served and also paid for to be members of the channel, have an opportunity to come in here and, you know, converse with each other if possible. I go random times, and this is a little later than my usual go time, so I understand if folks don't make it. But I'm about ready to start adding some of this stuff because I think it's soaked in that She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells for sure. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells for sure. Don't know, Rob. Don't know, buddy. I just do my thing, and then if they come, if you build it, they will come, type thing, you know. Could be busy. Working on my long form, so looks like they don't have me in the shorts feed. That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is, dude. Or some dipshit reported me for something, which happens occasionally, and then I gotta work my way out of the basement again. Don't know what I get reported for, since all I do is just try to stay within the limits of YouTube, but you know. Pretty strange, isn't it? I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I expected low, but I didn't expect that low. Don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm not in the shorts feed. This, or there's something going on. Let me scroll. 523, Bear and the Boss Lady. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Those of you who are here, appreciate you for being here. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Scraping buckskin is what we're doing here today. Also, I'm gonna add some fat liquor too. It didn't mix as well as I would have liked, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is fat liquor right here, or a fat emulsion. It's got egg yolk. We'll call it brain tanner, right? But as I let this go, you're gonna notice the oil settles up to the top. And that's really what the lecithin inside of the egg yolk in brain is supposed to do. It's supposed to help the fat distribute evenly throughout the water. And it didn't look like it really worked in this case. Hey, welcome, Roy. How you doing? So this was that highly decomposed hide that I've been talking about. That will be a subject of my a part of my video. And oops, what did I just do? I just left my own live stream, so I can't read the chat. There we go. Get it right here. Got to go to live here. There we go. So I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to get my hands covered in this stuff right here, like this. And then I'm going to spread it like that and work it into the hide like that, so I can get somewhat of an even distribution. Oh man, actually it's starting to smell really good. I used some lavender and some peppermint in there just to kind of help me, because the smell of, you know, brain tanning solution is not great. You can also soak your hides in this stuff too. Let me get the camera or the thing where I can read the chat. Yes, members only chat today, I believe. So thank you for being here. Thank you to my members. Big thank you. Appreciate y'all making this thing happen. Can't do it without y'all. So it's more important to have y'all in the room than anybody else. Members and mods, can't do it without y'all. I want to get these edges right good. Right good, man. Trying to get these edges good. Get those edges pulled out. Man, this is so, it's, my hands are now oily. Now I'm getting a little bit loose with it. Remember, if you're mixing this stuff up, and I'm not here to give you all kinds of instructions, I'm here to just chill with you. But if you are making a fat liquor, make sure you're getting egg yolk only, right? You're trying to, you take the yolk and go back and forth from shell to shell until you end up with just yolk. In this particular mixture, I've got 3 yolks and probably about close to a quart of water. I probably should have used 4 yolks because I don't think there's the right amount of lecithin in there. Once I get this thing kind of soaked in this fat liquor, I'm going to start scraping it again, and I'm going to be aggressive with it. Y'all know this process has been amazing over the last few months of learning about leathercraft, about making tanning leather, and then learning little secrets myself while doing it, which was really awesome. You know, feeling like basically with raw materials, not many raw materials, I could take an animal and turn it into clothing, you know, within just a short amount of time. So thanks for being here. Right now, what I'm doing is fat liquoring up this this hide. It's a little bit dark. I feel like it's just a little dark. I'm gonna open up the door, see if that light helps a little. I think those lights might have lost some of their power over the last year or so. How's everybody doing? Mike in here? Oh, Mike Osborne, welcome. Welcome, Mike. Welcome to all my members. This is a members only chat here. I believe my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. And right now what we're doing is actually tanning leather. This is a piece of buckskin that I am applying a brain emulsion to. And this process is rinse and repeat. And you do it over and you do it over and you do it over until your leather is the way you want it. Right? And actually, leather always needs to be, wow, it's hot out here. I'm going to turn that little fan on. Get out. Get out. I'm going to spray you. Get out. I feel like someone turned a heater on my face. It's rinse and repeat, man. You do it again and again and again. And you do it until your leather is supple, as I've showed you many times. And I want to get this all warmed up too. I got my squirrel hides up here. But, you know, without messing this up with my greasy hands, that's what we're trying to get. And that comes from working these fibers and getting those oils in there, right? Then you get it baby soft, baby soft. That's the final product we're looking for, right? How's everybody doing? Buckskin cow. Praise God, Roy, and I pray the Lord continues for her and your beautiful wife. Yes, we hope that everything keeps getting better for Roy and Melinda and the kids and everybody there. Glad you're here, though, man. That's a good sign, too. Can't read the chat because I don't have my reading glasses on, Roy. I don't know where my reading glasses are, dude. Pilato. Pilato took them because Pilato didn't like them. Barely read that chat. Two seconds ago, Pilato said, when was the last time you were reading? 2 seconds ago. Get your butt out of here, boy. You ain't got nothing in here you need. You ain't got nothing. Get your butt out of here. Not talking to you, Pilato. I'm talking to the dog. I read all the time. I'm quite an avid reader. I don't know if you may have picked up on that. Welcome all my members. Appreciate you being here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we oh, Ben is trying to locate my glasses, or Pilato is. Pilato needs to find me some glasses, man. You know? You lose those ones, you need to replace them. I'm just flipping it over and scraping, and I can feel it's moisturized right now. You know, this is where I want it to be. It's going to need to be all the way scraped out now because of the amount of, and then you just add more again, right? This is how you get to that texture, y'all. Just continuing to add oils and then scrape schmutz away until you get to that perfect texture. It's what I think. And buckskin's kind of like, it's been written about a few times. Several books on buckskin that are out there. There's one called Smoky Mountain Buckskin or Blue Mountain Buckskin. I cannot remember the title of this book. Good book. That's Blue Mountain Buckskin. There's a number of books on just making buckskin, just converting leather-like products into buckskin. And welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin, otherwise known as a Buckskin Cal. Hey, I didn't give the name to myself, but I kind of do. At the same time, right? Trying to get this thing supple. That's where we're at. We're trying to get this thing supple. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Were you wearing your glasses to read the books about buckskin? No, I was not. And I think maybe possibly the last time I saw my glasses is in the kitchen last night before I made dinner. That's probably the last time I saw them. They're not in my pocket. So I'm working it out in my head right now. Stop rushing me, Roy. I'm trying to complain about you longer. You know, check out Pilato Creations as a woodworker. If you're just popping through, Pilato, drop your link. Mike, drop your link in there too. Mike has a channel. Mike's been making content all the time. I mean, he complains a lot, but I'll still watch it. You know what I mean? Who's that? Jovi. Man, this hatchet is so good for this. It's just like the weight of it. I believe this hatchet was the difference between that rigid stuff I was dealing with before and like really soft, pillowy buckskin, which is what I ended up with from that big hide. So what's Roy building in the shop? What's Mike doing in the shop? What's everybody doing? Everybody fill me in. Absolutely. I don't have that much to say here. I'm just scraping buckskin. Promote your channels. There's quite a few people in the gallery, so it's a good time to do it. Members only chat, ladies and gentlemen. Exclusive. I'll probably take that big deer hide eventually and do the same thing with it. Probably both of them, because last time I did the big one, this one over here, I got that one really soft, but this one's still rigid. So I want to do that one again. I also want to do all these squirrels. Y'all seen my squirrels? Got a bunch of squirrels. Got a bunch of squirrels to do. Probably dropped a squirrel or two down there. Cedar Grow Box, welcome. Members only chat here. Members and mods only up in here. That means Diego Ruiz can no longer come and hang out because, well, unless he's a mod, so he probably could. Shout out Diego wherever you're at. Pilata said, I got some new equipment that I haven't set up and or used on camera yet. That's great. I need to look up. I see Miss Heather coming out. That usually means I need to look up. By the way, Mike Osborne said, we love you, Roy, and your family. Sorry if I didn't read that. If I didn't get that up.
It's right there in the green.
Whatever. Nah, you talking about his channel? Nah, you got to post your channel link. They can't, unless they're a mod, they can't touch your channel link. Like, we're going to get this buckskin soft. I need to make a buckskin softening song. It needs to be in rhythm and just, it needs to be in the vibe of scraping buckskin, you know? Look up. Mike, you always say that, and I look up and there's nothing up there. I'm just kidding. You sometimes you say look up and there is stuff up there. There's this is one stingy spot here. It looks like it's some grain on it, maybe, or flesh. So I'm trying to get after that real quick. As you do this, you know, you find little spots that you missed. And this is part of the thorough nature of trying to make sure you get good leather. Pilata said, picked up another bandsaw. I already had a 12-inch Craftsman manufactured in 1978 with a 6-inch resaw capacity. Now I also have a 14-inch Delta with a 13-inch resaw capacity. Not sure how old the Delta is, though. Mike said, okay, I'll type for the 5th time yesterday and today. And I said it in Mike's voice. You in here bragging about your girlfriend. Bragging about your pretty young thing all the time. And we all can't be Mike, you know? Mike, does your girlfriend pass the half your age plus 7 years rule? Divide your age into two. Add 7 years. If your girlfriend is not, if that's not her age, then you're dating too young, Mike. You gotta break up with her. I'm just kidding. Mike Osborne's girlfriend. He's not gonna break up with you. Kind of hard to break up with you when you're in Russia, you know what I mean? So he has to wait till you come to the US to formally cut it off. Why you say you can add mine to your collection, Pilato? You talking about your bandsaw? Why would you get rid of your bandsaw, Paul? Let's go back a second. I'll probably keep the Craftsman for the tight curvy cuts and use the Delta for more of the straight resaw applications. That way I don't have to be switching blades on either machine. Keep the 1/8 inch blade on the Craftsman and the 3/4 inch blade on the Delta. What do you say? Well, then why would you, if it's crap, then I don't know. You know, he's got 2 good bandsaws. I'm happy with my bandsaws. I'm not resawing large pieces of wood right through it. But it seems that Pilato is real concerned with the resaw capacity, so he must be wanting to do a lot of that in the saw. Definitely you get to certain points where you're like, man, I'd really like to resaw this, or it would be advantageous to be able to resaw this, though you typically see people doing that with like table saws, right? At least in my experience, right? The thing is, trying to think whether that's what you would do. Definitely see it done with circular saws in timber framing. I don't know. They take the safeties off those circular saws and they use them crazy, man. Digging into material that's way deeper than the depth of the saw. I don't know. I've never had a lot of success doing that. So, but tell Cal he's not reading it. No, it's a real thing. I just received my Stanley number 7 joiner plane yesterday. I am reading your stuff, Mike. But I'm looking right here and I don't see nothing. Like I don't see a link or nothing. It says no, it's a real thing, and I just received my Stanley. Don't get me all stifled there, Mike. I listen to you and I read your chat. I do have reading glasses on though. It is kind of hard for me. I do the best I can out here, you know. Just trying to help you promote your channel. These edges are where I cut myself the most too, because you have to force it a lot. It's not like easy peasy here. Also where I tear the most holes. Skin is usually belly skin too. So it's belly, from the whole hide. So we'll find the neck here. This is probably the neck right here. Everything on the edge here is belly. right? And everything on the edge here is belly. So not the most desirable leather, but you need as much as you possibly can get. So you want to keep as much as you can and stretch it and try to soften up that edge stuff. Thanks, Miss Heather, for bringing me my reading glasses so I can read the chat. Appreciate that. Members only chat here, Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin, but do subscribe because we do subscribers only chats too. Oh, do I need to share the link through his account for them to hyperlink? Probably, yeah. It needs to be on a PC. That's what I want. A nice hand plane, says Cedar. I think you have a nice hand plane, don't you, Cedar? Sometimes you get to start, you start playing, and I feel like it's more therapeutic for you to plane. You just want to keep playing. I was watching you the other night just go to town. Like that piece of wood did something to you. Hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate you. My name's Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Also, subscribe to the channel. I did not set a subscriber goal today, but I am doing a members only chat, so it's kind of weird to do that. We'll set a, wherever I'm at now, I'll set one from there. It's got me at 5283, so let's say 5290, 5291. Goal 5291. Subscribe, y'all. Let's give me, hey, we could give me maybe we give me to 5300 tonight, and you could be special on Dad's Workshop live stream. Dad's Workshop live stream, the craftiest craft live stream on the live stream internet. I just made that word up. I have no, it's the live stream internet. That's what it is. It's the internet meant for live streaming. Live streamer for president, right? Yeah, you know, not everybody's meant to live stream, you know. Some people got it, some people don't. I was once told by somebody I didn't have it, so all it did was make me want to do it more. Your real Indians message. What did I miss, man? Mike? What do we got here? What just happened? You sent 5 gift memberships. Let me see. The folks that could pop in here right now, is that Pelado that just sent those gift memberships? Pelado. Gonna do a drum roll for that, folks. It's a drum roll for the new memberships. Let me go get my drumsticks. Thank you to Roy for those donated memberships. Let's do it. Here we go. You got to do that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That 5th one was kind of ugly. I'm just getting into it. That's all. I'm just getting into it. Roy Pelado with the 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much. Let's see who those members are. Those new members we got. I fix stuff all day. Cullen Whitty 1. Casey Anthony 1. Huh. Seen that one before. Rodway Assam. 8156. And Cooper Frederick X4U. Appreciate you. All new members. Pop in. Say something. Introduce yourself. You are now in the members only chat of the live stream internet, of which we are the best crafting channel. Besides Pelado. Oh, shucks. You're just saying that, Buckskin Cow. Yeah, you're right. I am. Hey, but that is a good time to plug Roy's channel here. Pelado at Pelado Creations. Bellado said, no way. For crafting channels, yours is way better. I show people what not to do. Start telling people what to do. You know what I mean? You'll be the Mormon foreman. Change your channel name. The Mormon foreman. Do you think that one's taken? I bet there's a couple guys in Salt Lake City already took that name. That's my secondary channel. Roy Pilato. Roy is the Mormon foreman. I just came up with that, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Man, this thing's already coming, like feeling much softer. Y'all can probably see it's velvety. It's getting a velvety texture, especially right in here. That's because of the adding of the fat liquor and then the scraping. It's getting those fats absorbed into the fibers, right? And then there's these, what do they call these, man? When you have this, when the fibers join, cross-linking. It's a scientific process of cross-linking that happens between the tannins and the fibers. And what you want to do is you want to get those oils in there. See, what you have here is a compound organic material, collagen and tannic acid, right? And what you want to do is you want to introduce the oils to make it soft. And that's what we're doing now. And it works just miraculously. Every time I do it, I'm like, I don't regret doing that. Every time I always hesitate. And then when I do it, I'm like, I'm so glad I did that. Whoever came up with this, and I know the Native Americans were doing this in here in this country for eons, thousands of years. So I don't know how they figured it out. It's crazy smart to emulsify fats and spread them on skins. It works really well. I actually don't know what they did in Europe to try to SLC, Salt Lake City. Yeah, I figured you probably weren't too far. I mean, you went to school there and everything. Hey, appreciate you, Raja. Raja said, like, done. Thank you, Raja. In this, I believe, members only chat. Thank you for coming. Who's naked? You're just trying to say Heather. It's funny. Raja, welcome. Glad to see Raja Turner from India. I believe India. I don't know if I'm assuming. Could be one of the neighboring countries. So here we go, Roy. I'm going to open up a can of worms here. I'm really good with faces. I'm not so good with names, but I love history. And I am aware of what Brigham Young's face looks like. You can kind of see it in Steve Young's face a little bit if you look. And not a lot of people know this. Steve Young is one of the descendants. Is that right? Descendants of Brigham Young. Went to BYU, greatest quarterback that ever attended BYU, right? But Brigham Young has, I assume, millions of ancestors, or not ancestors, descendants. And when I look at Roy, I can see facial characteristics that are similar. Eyes, chin, cheeks. There are similarities. Roy, you probably know this. Are you, because this is generally something that folks are good at, genealogy over in that area. Are you descended from Brigham Young? Always wanted to ask you, Roy. I told Heather, I said, there's just the faces, there's just parts of when you compare the faces of him at your age, similar time, one of the many. Yeah, that's what I thought, man. But some of those genes, they gather together and they express themselves in certain people more than they do in others, right? There's probably descendants of Brigham Young that don't look anything like him, right? But then those genes just combine in some folks. This happens in other families too. Because one of my ancestors from the 1500s, I look a lot like this person. 1500s. I believe maybe born in the 1400s. Long time ago. I would give them to you. You could Google them and you could look at it. But with my beard, it's different. If I take my beard off, you can see it. He was also a ginger too, so it doesn't hurt that is a factor also. But what I always look at is that and how, you know, you get a certain number of generations down and you think all of those things are going to be kind of washed away, but they're not. You are not among his descendants, I see. Not among. Interesting. Very interesting, Roy. I would have guessed you were. But I guess things are wrong sometimes. You know that? I don't know if y'all knew that. I get wrong. I'd be wrong on stuff sometimes. Pilato said, for those who are interested in genealogy, family history, set up an account at FamilySearch.org and connect your account to a deceased relative. Might be amazed by what you can learn there for free. True. I was one of these people got the DNA stuff done. Well, somebody gave me a gift of it. And so it took me 2 years to actually do it. Then I did it. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I actually had my son do it. So, because I know pretty much what my genealogy is. And all that was reinforced. But yeah, also one way I found some people in my family that some folks had forgot was to go to Find a Grave. You Find a Grave will actually give you info, or it used to. Now they may ask for money. But really good, FamilySearch.org. That's a good resource for that. If you're trying to figure out what your ancestry is for free, because a lot of places it costs money, you know. Got a lot of this fat liquor. I want to use it up, guys. That's really important here. So, and my oil is beating more and more on the surface, which I don't like. I want to use this stuff before and if not, what I do is I soak my scrap leather in it. So if I don't use it up, I put it in a bucket with my scrap leather, take my scrap leather out and work it the next day. It's just a good way to condition your whatever leather is on the shelf, because I got a bunch of leather now. Well, I mean, I think it's a bunch of leather. I had to make it all myself. So now I have a stock of that. And I want to make sure that I keep it conditioned properly. And I don't want to waste material here either. These edges will actually cut you. I think I just actually got cut by one of those edges. Rinse and repeat. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result, which is not the definition of insanity. It's the definition of sanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. All right, we're just continuing to soak it. I'm trying to use up that material. It's also, I can feel it getting more supple as the stuff sinks in and it gets scraped again. Breaking also important. I can break it against these clamps is another way I figured out how to break these hides. It's another way to do it. Let's get these squirrels out and do these squirrels. Because I did these the other day. And I'm going to be real careful not to get it on the hair side of these pelts because they're actually tawed. Just to add a little waterproofing to the skin side of these squirrels. Because when they were tawed, I used aluminum to taw them. So we're doing that. That's going to also soften them. I'll break them against the beam like this a little bit. Let that stuff get in there. The one thing I have not figured out is these tails, y'all. I do not know what to do. I'm going to have to look it up. How I get the tail to fluff out again. Baby kisses. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. BK said you can make your some chaps or your girl a nice outfit, short top and skirt. But you know what? Whenever you say that, you start getting my hormones start rushing through my system because you know Miss Heather is a very attractive woman. So I'm start thinking about her. This live stream may come to an early end. Spent the whole morning with her. Wasn't enough. Now I won't get an allergic reaction from this stuff. That's one thing I know. I want these to actually air out. So I'm going to put them over a beam here. I might need my little brush for these. I like balance them up there. This one's still dry. You got to try to be careful with these. If you use an alum, you want to be careful you don't get them wet. Not really a good idea. Wow, Abraham Lincoln is your sixth cousin, 6 times removed. Which side on Abraham Lincoln? The Lincoln side or the Hanks side? His mom was a Hanks, and they settled in Virginia. I do know about that. That's why Tom Hanks is related to him. He's related to him on that Western Virginia side of his on his mother's side. I understand the only president I'm related to is, although I'm related to like Louis the 16th. It was Louis the 14th, one of the Sun King. I'm related to him. The only president that I'm related to is John Tyler. John Tyler, the 10th president. Who's actually, strange fact, in case y'all didn't know this, John Tyler had living grandsons. John Tyler was the 10th president of the United States. He was born in the 1700s. And he had living grandsons up until like last year. Now, John Tyler's wife was a gardener, and she came from Long Island, actually. But I believe I'm related to him on the Tyler side. That's my understanding. Or it's the Birds, because I'm related to the Birds somehow. I don't know why. Louis the 14th. Yeah, that's the 14th. Is that right? 7th cousin, 7 times removed. There you go. We're probably keen then, Roy. We probably keen. I'll make an AI character that's a combination of Roy and my face, and it'll be our joint ancestor. It'll be completely factual, but not, as far as everyone else knows. Seventh cousin, 7 times removed. And see, he had living grandchildren until like 2 years ago. So imagine, if you're related to one of his grandsons, like Leon Gardner Tyler, who was a professor here at, what's the university? William and Mary, I believe. One of the oldest institutions in the country. Next to Harvard, the oldest college in the United States. William and Mary. Behave. Where's the fun in that? Our house was sold back and forth between two exes over and over according to the deed. Apparently, Brigham Young is my 5th cousin, 7 times removed. See, there you go, man. I think we're all related within a certain degree. A lot of people don't know this, but President Obama was related to Dick Cheney very closely too. Not distant, like not distant. The late Dick Cheney, through his mom, right? You look at that presidential pedigree. Only one of them is not related to King John or what, Prince John or whatever. You go through that list, it's only one president that doesn't have like the common ancestry of all the other ones. And probably Roy knows this. There's one odd duck president whose ancestry did not match the ancestry of almost every single other president of the United States. And it's not the current president. Because I think he probably has some of the same ancestry. I would say, check it out. One president. So they all share a common ancestor except for one president. Yeah, that's true, man. We'll have to see. That's really cool. I want to check that app out. I do know that my grandfather did some graduate work at BYU, right? My grandfather was a chemist or biologist. He never finished. He started his PhD at BYU and never finished it. Now that doesn't mean I'm Mormon or related to anybody out there, but yes, he did that. So there is this funny thing in my family tree, according to the DNA that I did, where I cannot make sense of it. Someone in my family tree was cheating, and it became pretty obvious. It was like a generation or two back, though. Martin Van Buren, that's it, Pilato. He's the one odd duck out because of his Dutch ancestry, Dutch kind of pauper ancestry that he had. He's not related to any of the other, like they all don't, he doesn't share the common ancestor of all the other presidents. It is Martin Van Buren. And I think it has to do with, he's from that, I believe he's descended from the Dutch settlers of New York, but those folks were, yeoman farmers and things like that. Still a lot of ancestors of those Dutch folks up in the New York area. You see a lot of Vans, Van Tassel, stuff like that. I think Heather had a neighbor, Van Tassel, when she lived on Long Island. Bain Johnson, married to my dad's family, supposedly. According to my mom, she's also told me we were part Cherokee. Not according to my son. Yeah, a lot of folks have that. Did I lose Osborne in here? Did he get mad at me because I said he had a mail order broad? I didn't even get to say that his girlfriend was 33 in Filipino years yet. I hate to hit close to home with one of those, though. I guess so. That would have been better than mail order. You could have taken that the wrong way. Let's hope he didn't. You know what I mean? Yes, they are. Hey, look, my uncle married a girl from the Philippines. She's very nice. Nothing wrong with finding your love overseas. That's why we have the internet. Disclaimer. Everybody finds love in different ways. I'll encourage anyone actually to use the internet if they're struggling. Finding your local bar is not usually the route to finding everlasting love. Everlasting love. Domestic mail. It was cheaper. The Scottish model was similar, but it cost more shipping, so she got this one. This thing's getting nice. I can feel it. They just get this great texture. I wish y'all could feel the stuff, man. They said no returns. BK said squish him in a box with holes. That's exactly. Stop telling her to do stuff like that. Then she really will do it. And I'll say, no, please don't. And she'll do it anyway. And I'll say, please, I'm going to tell. And she'll say, try to tell. Everyone will think you're a liar. And I say, no, please don't. And she says, I'm going to do it anyway. And I say, okay, please, just be nice. And she, no, that's what happens. So I guess it's the right time to tell you all I'm submissive in this relationship. Psych. Psych, she does whatever I want. I'm going to get in trouble if she sees that. Custom order. That's right. Heather and I met when my wife and I hired her as a babysitter. I'm no longer married, but it's not because of Heather's. We did not have an affair. It was a respectful, business-only relationship. It does sound funny, though, when you say it, when you try to tell people that. Like, they don't really want to believe you, but it doesn't look great, but it isn't as it, you know, when people walk in the room and say, it's not what it looks like. It's like that. Speaking of presidential trivia, my favorite goes like this. Who is the only person to serve as president who was never elected to office of either president or vice president? And probably George Washington, actually. I think he was like appointed the president, wasn't he? Oak Ridge, welcome. Oak Ridge, I'm applying fat liquor right now, but I want to show you something since you guys are doing this. Oh, thank you, man. We give it a little value since you just threw me that super chat. You see how the oil is kind of riding on the top here? The egg yolk should fix that. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like mixed in. So if you guys are doing brain tanning and that oil rides to the top, it needs more brain or it needs more egg yolk, you know? Just, I don't know. I know you guys haven't brain tanned before. It's something I noticed. Thank you. Thank you. Let me hit that like button there. And then I'll do my little drum roll for that. But yeah, we're here we go. $5 super chat goes like this. $5 super chat from Oak Ridge. Also want to shout out Pilato for that very generous gift of 5 gift memberships earlier in the live stream. Very, very generous. Appreciate that. I'm going to guess George Washington. Was I right? Yes, Oak Ridge Taxidermy's got a great channel. He does all kinds of taxidermy. And remember, he's a taxidermist. He's not killing the animals. All he's doing is just putting them on the sculptures. Now he does hunt and things like that, but he's not there to hunt the animals or to tan the animals necessarily. What he's there to do is sculpture them and recreate them in a lifelike manner. That's what taxidermists do. But generally, they are guys who spend time in the woods. So what I've been trying to explain to people is that all of these things, like the woodworking umbrella, there's lots of different crafts that involve animal products and animal skins. You know, no, not Washington. Okay, because my next guest was a Gerald Ford, whose name really wasn't Gerald Ford. Something completely different. Back then, I guess you could get away with like complete whitewashing of your family history, and these guys, like, he was. Was that it? Oh, my first. You know what's weird, man? I said Gerald Ford in my head, and then I was like, nah, because Ford was, he became president, but I want to say that he was elected on the ticket as vice president, but I assume he wasn't. My thing was that I thought the president, Washington, was appointed. Yeah, so it was Ford. Yeah, Ford was. I don't think he was ever even interested really in being president, which is strange. Maybe he was, and then some things. I think Nixon possibly controlled that probably destroyed his political chances. The fact that he was associated with Nixon. You know. But yeah, I did know that he was the president without becoming elected. You know, when I guess if I thought into it more, one that people might throw out there might be LBJ. But so what I'm doing is getting fat liquor all over this thing, right? And then just scraping it. And my hatchet does a great job of it. This knife also works really well. And I just scrape all of that off again. And then as you scrape, you reveal a soft fiber texture under there. And like I told y'all, this was a highly decomposed hide here. This was a very badly rotten deer when I got it. So what I'm trying to do is see what can be rescued, what can you make from a badly decomposed animal. Is it salvageable? You know, is there a product you can make from it? And I do believe that this is the answer to that. And the answer is yes. As long as you're not trying to keep the grain, the condition of the animal might not even matter. Though I've seen, you know, back in the days in the ancient tanneries, they would have kept the grain on those and they would have stacked them in stacks and put them in a sweat room where they would have stunk really bad. The whole room would have been decomposed, smelling like decomposed flesh. Really bad smell, y'all. You know, imagine death, the smell of death. And then the hair would come out easily. So you wouldn't have to scrape that grain side very hard. The difference, though, is that an animal that's out in the wild is getting eaten by carrion in animals. So they're picking at it and scratching at it, right? And that's doing damage to the grain. This is what I'm just telling you what I realized doing this, and while I'm making a long form video on it. Yeah, that's right. Ford ran for re-election in '76, but lost to Jimmy Carter in general African centrist primary against. Yeah, Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Reagan had an advantage there, and that was he had no connection with Nixon, you know, and he was popular from the movies. So he was that contentious primary probably is what cost them. You know how that is. I think that happened with Bush kind of in the 90s. Not so much that, but I remember Ross Perot running, right? And he dropped out of the race. He was doing well when he was in the race. He dropped out of the race and it threw the whole race up in the air. And Clinton was kind of as I recall, looking at the poll numbers, and as a little kid, believe it or not, I was paying attention to that. I had a friend who was gonna have to move away if one of them won, because I lived in the DC area, man. Everybody's jobs were connected to that kind of stuff. My dad's you know, I told y'all before. Been through this before. I was around politics a lot. I wish y'all could feel this. Nah, but he says, "Oh, Pilato, hold on, man. I do know what I'm. All right, let me change my wording, buddy. He suspended his campaign in the middle of the '92 election, right? Election cycle, and the '96 he had no chance. '92 his numbers were up in the polls, and he suspended his campaign. You'll have to, I don't know if they have that in the records, but I remember. I won't say he dropped out because he came back in. He got back in the race. That was the problem. He missed a whole bunch of time. So he left the race, got back in the race later. He suspended his campaign. That would be what they would call it now. But at the time, I think he basically told people he was out. Nowadays, people will say, I'm suspending my campaign even when they're dropping out. I remember this. CBK. Yeah. Well, you know some stuff. My grandmother only got an 8th grade education, and she made herself millions farming. So, you know, school years and what you know can be different things. You know, I'll be the first one to tell somebody that. And she did it too. She knew when to sell. She knew when to buy. She knew when to take the stuff and sell it out the co-op. You know, it was her that made the big money, not my grandfather. He just knew how to grow the stuff. It was my grandmother that pulled the trigger when it was sales time. She knew the commodities market. That's what made her good at it. You know. Yeah, I understand. Yep. BK says she was working a lot of the time. 2 jobs. That can happen. This neck area, I really want to soften this up a lot. I think I'm gonna have to take it against the cable to get that soften up. Even on some of those, the edges don't get all the way soft. All right, let's take some little pieces of leather and do some leather on here real quick before I roll out, because I'm hungry. Benjamin, get out from under there, man. I thought you were an object. Terrible. Get out. Get out. All right, this is that face. I haven't used it yet, so I'm gonna. Got one squirrel here. Where's my last one? I'm missing one squirrel hide. Huh. Squirrel ran away. Or maybe one of the dogs steal one of my squirrels. Let me find out. So here's some grain leather. So I don't know. Is this is grain? So you can see the grain is on that, right? By that pebble coating. Yeah. Yep. This is the non-green side I'm scraping right now, y'all. I really want to find that other squirrel hide. Hey, get out of here, man. I don't trust you. One squirrel here. Wily little things. I got 4. Oh my gosh, that's so upsetting. I hope that my dogs did not eat that squirrel skin. That would suck. They would do it though. Hair and all probably. That one even probably smelled like even smell like tannins probably. Oh, that sucks. Maybe I'll find it when I wrap this up. Here's what I'm gonna do, y'all, and this just gets a little funky if you don't pay attention to it. But you take this fat liquor right here, right? Before I go, I want to show y'all what I do generally when I have excess. Take all my scraps, and I got a bunch of scraps, odds and ends in here that are not being shipped away. And I throw this in here, and I take the fat liquor and I pour it in there with them. And if I have anything else I need to do, I can still use that for about a day or so. Then it needs to be like scraped out, and all of them need to be processed. Oops, sorry if I hit the microphone. I kind of just agitate them in there. It makes a huge difference. Just if they just get worked a little bit, add a little bit of fats into them, makes a big difference. Appreciate y'all being here. My name's Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. This was a members only chat today. Do become a member. Also subscribe. I don't know. What's my goal? 55,291. Kind of, yeah. Like I guess Squirrel is like, I mean, the bag limit in Virginia is 6 a day. So if you can get the 6, that's like a lot of meals. I told my brother like a squirrel is like, I don't know, like a 5-piece like chicken wing. Like if you got 5 chicken wings and they were fried at like a Buffalo Wild Wings, like squirrel would be like 5 of those. It's not bad. A big male like this one here. It's a decent amount of meat, right? So and real mild too. The taste is not gamey or anything greasy. Like a raccoon's very greasy animal. So hey, welcome everybody. If you just popped in, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. I'm actually on my way out here. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here today. I'm going to throw this in there. These scraps need to go into that bucket. He can smell it already. He's after it. I have to put it up here next to me. Got to find that other squirrel too. Hopefully I will. Hopefully it's hiding under one of those. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Hey, let me see. I got to check something real quick. Did I get to my goal? Oh, I was so close. Let me get one more subscriber, y'all. If you're in the gallery right now, subscribe to my channel. Give me that 5291. That's what I was looking for today. Yes, you can use raccoon grease and raccoon fat to do what I did today. Tallow and actually stick down board skins too. You can use the raccoon fat for that. It's really good for it. It's a little stinky. Maybe if you render it into tallow, add a little bit of different scented stuff. But yes, I have used a little raccoon grease for that because it is fat and there's tons of it. You saw me scraping those raccoon hides. There's tons of grease and a tremendous amount of fat. So thanks for being here. Appreciate everybody. Do the next right thing. Make something from scratch. That's what we're all about here. I have my shoe stuff. I'm still working on my sandals. I don't give up on projects. We'll keep doing those, you know. Yeah, cooked it down in the oven at 200. That's smart. That's smart. Appreciate everybody. Make sure that you subscribe to Dad's Workshop and come back and also check out our long form videos. Check out the people that are in the chat. Still here. Check your email. I will for sure. I'll check my email. But definitely, hopefully I got that 5291st subscriber. Y'all take care. Have a great evening. And we'll see you again on Freaky Friday. And we'll have another convo and keep this conversation moving. Take care now. Bye-bye then.